Okay, guys, I want to present a little case against cross-platform software development. There are a lot of frameworks available in the market, and the new developers especially are confused about which one to select and which one to learn and what is better and which is not. So I want to just show you that there is a better way to think about the whole problem. As you see that if you count how many mobile operating systems are dominant nowadays, they are not numerous. We have iOS and we have Android, and you just see how many frameworks are available to solve the core problem of just providing a common code base to how many platforms? Just two. Really? Think about it. This is a famous quotation. Now you see there are many frameworks, but the core technologies, they hold their ground. They are not going anywhere. And frameworks are coming and going, and they are competing against each other also. You see, in general, there are a lot of frameworks available, and each framework has its selected stack, and those stacks don't use the normal native development channel recommended by either Android or iOS. They use the C or C++ interface, either by running a virtual machine on it or by utilizing a web renderer, or by, in case of Flutter, like totally re-implementing all the widgets and providing you a common solution for Android and iOS. But you see, these stacks are built by third party. These stacks are not built by generally the operating system manufacturers. Now, if you just stay native, there are two options. There are just two platforms. You just forget about all the frameworks. You learn the languages, and you see these languages have evolved so much that it is very easy for you to learn. Their learning curve is not very steep, and through them you can access the original libraries or and the recommended libraries that provide the best user experience, and you make your app. In this case, if you don't write any common code, then you have to rewrite your code. So nonetheless, what I say, you just go ahead and rewrite it. If you write it once, you can write it again also. The writing again in a different language, they are not so much different. You can use several notations. You can use common notations, and try to write code as easy to be easily portable as possible. In this case, you learn both the languages and you use the original UI user interface designers provided by Google or iOS. You can use storyboards in iOS, and you can use the layout designer in Android Studio. Now, the main benefit is that your tools and your support and your documentation and your API is fully supported. They are first class access, and as soon as any new feature is available, you can implement on that platform. And if that feature is not available on the second platform, you just don't implement it or try to replicate it. If it is not available, it's not available. So what about if you want to write some common code And in this case, I would recommend that you use the C++ linkage and use your try to write your C++ code as vanilla as possible. And you can make your user interface as thin as possible and write all your common code in common language. And also for the user interface, there were endeavors like uh, generation of platform specific uh, uh, utilities by writing platform specific utilities. You can make your own common UI language and uh, annotate your user interface in that language and write the tools that can transform your common UI code into the XML code, which can be read by the embedded in the Kotlin app directly, and you can write such tools by C and C++. In this case, you have a bit of a common code, or it may be the case that you have 80% of your common code in C and C++ language. Basically the Android and iOS both use the ARM architecture, and C is the portable solution that you see your framework providers are also using this channel. So why can't you use this channel? Now you have two options in front of you, either to develop in a cross-platform way and either to develop stay in the native. In the native way, you learn the original languages that are recommended by Apple and that are recommended by Google. You have the first class tools and support available, and your common code can be in C++ libraries, and you can use the the architecture of microservices also, make it scalable also, deployable also, and you can use Boost libraries also in that, and you keep the Kotlin and Swift code just to deal with the user interface, and this way you have the best performance and you can use the model driven approach to minimize replication in your code. I also plan a video for you for at a later stage, just describing or demonstrating you how you can achieve that. And if you stay native, you have a first class user experience and you are not dependent on the provisioning of new improvisations in the platforms, and their and frameworks always lack. And but if you stay native, your new features are available as early as it gets. The only drawback is that you have to write your user interface specific code in the languages that are recommended by OEM, that are Kotlin and Swift. But you see, as a developer point of view, you sure should not try to run away from learning these languages. These are very important languages, and in this way, your app will always be up to speed with the new technologies. And I just want to highlight that if you use the cross platform tools, you will always be behind the curve. Okay, guys, thank you. We'll upload a short video. If you like this video, you click subscribe and click on the bell icon. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.